It was a California August in '82 when my mother gave birth to the Spam Tech crew. 13 years later had me looking at Linux. Programming made me stronger like Papa the Spinach. Now, people know that a DG carry weapons, but if that weapon is a nest, you step in. We finish Contra with only one life. Finish Metal Gear 2 using only a knife. Right. People might think that we're frontin', then they see all the news online that I'm putting. My rhymes flow just like my code, even though my source is owned by SCO. What about my Indian? I keep it low. See me on Gunbound, call me pro. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I said my heart's wide open, goatsy, and my windows min like Ho Chi. I'm just another nerd, but I rap about it. Shit talk on the net, then I laugh about it. I've been caught slipping like the Star Wars kid when I'm on eBay sniping a bid. Catch me on a webcam like Numa Numa. See me at the club and I'm rocking Puma. Another net legend if you see me yodel. Spit a little something that's anecdotal. Tell me about the time the E-Bombs world stole your chop like I stole your girl. Catch me on Gen May, not something awful. Low tax would ban me, raffle. I'm a certified legend, but I'm still your bro. This is a PSA, boy, the more you know. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spam. I'm a legend everywhere that I go. Every distro, every Craigslist hoe pumping they fist, yo. Can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's jams, and they can't get enough of Whitey Cracker's spams. Yeah.
Hey, get out of my way. I gotta see what Tony TGD's gonna say. Time to listen to the Geek Getaway. Cause I'm on so many geeky films, games, and TV shows. Maybe and we're lucky, the weather exposed the amigo. Hey, get out of my way. This season gives it hot takes, so you might as well stay. It's time to listen to the Geek Getaway.
What's up, meatbags? It's the often imitated, never duplicated frog, motherfucking Tony. TJ, you are the only one here. It is a two-man ship. You better grab it, or because we got lots of things to talk about, lots of things to cover. One of those things, Music Master, I'm glad you're in the chat because we're going to be talking in television, Amico.
Oh, shit!
Tangentially. Okay, we'll get to it. But TJ, how you been?
I got some good news. Well, it's not good news. It's terrible news, actually. I don't know why.
How do you go from I got some good news to no, actually, it's terrible. It's horrible news.
Well, okay, get this. See, it's kind of good news for us, but it's bad news for the other guy. So get this. Remember you said that you talked about Vitaly getting arrested and shit over here?
Yeah.
They caught another one.
What?
Another motherfucker. Yeah. So he's Johnny Somali's friend. Like, think of him as Poop Donkey to Johnny Somali's Sturgis, okay? He threw Johnny Somali under the bus just so he could do his own career and shit, starting mayhem. So he came over here, did that, and now they arrested his ass.
Why? I mean, after Vitaly got arrested, I think I would have just stayed away from it, right?
You'd think, right? But no, the problem is, okay, you have content creators out there, they're doing the good shit, like they're just traveling, seeing the world, interacting with people, doing shit normal people do. But on the other hand, you have scumbags like these, right? Kind of sounds like what we're doing. We're trying to do some good shit promoting, right? Then talking about media, giving honest critiques about everything. Meanwhile, you have some scumbags running around. It's the same thing. It's like poetry.
Well, hopefully, as the president of the Philippines, hopefully you get that taken care of.
I actually found out he does sound like me a little bit. His accent is a lot thicker, though.
Well, you just sound less thick of an accent. That's the microphone in the StreamYards. I got the StreamYard setting as American, so you sound less Filipino.
Right. Voice changer.
It's great. It's great. Myself, I've been doing great. I've been doing fantastic. Playing video games. So far, I've kept the 17-day streak alive. There's a new video every day. It's becoming a habit. A lot of people are like, "Why would you do that, Tony? You're not getting a lot of views. You're not going to get into the algorithm. It's not helping your channel." It's for the habit, right? I need to get into the habit of making a video every day. So that way, eventually, when I do start making more quality videos, I don't take these days off, right? I always have an issue with where I take a day off, right? Or if I go, I got nothing to talk about, so I won't make a video today, right? And then that one day turns into 2 days, into 3 days, into a week. And then suddenly I'm not making videos anymore, right? So we're trying to avoid that. We're trying to get me more focused on actually doing work, creating content. I don't want to be Vito, right? I'm living my life as what would Vito do? And then I do the opposite.
There you go.
Everything's coming up.
Maintain the habit.
Yeah. Now, here's something that we need to discuss. Blinded Braille was supposed to be here today, but I guess he got embarrassed. TJ, he claims he's out. I'm calling bullshit. I don't think he's touching that. I think he's hiding. He's hiding, TJ. Because last week, for those of you who tuned in, last week, we made a bet. $50 bet. It was a weight loss challenge. He's not even here to hear the rules or anything, right? So someone's got to, we'll update him afterward, but we're going to go from today all the way until, I gotta check the calendar, right? Hold on. May 2nd. Okay. So from today until May 2nd, we are going to do a weight loss challenge. Whoever can lose the most weight. It's not a percentage. It's not a target goal. It's just the most weight, right? If I lose 5 pounds and he loses 3, I win, right? If he loses 10 and I lose 7, he wins. That's it. It's a very simple thing, right? May 2nd is the deadline. Now, I need you guys to write this down because I have the weigh-in. I have the official weigh-in, right? Of both myself and Blinded Braille. Okay. So can I get a drum roll, TJ, real quick? Can you? Hey, TJ, hold out the bongo. Blinded Braille weighs an astounding 300 pounds. Now, for my official weight, TJ, once again, I'm gonna need those bongos. I weigh 237.8, which sucks because this whole week, ever since we made this bet, I've been gaining pounds. I've been eating extra Whoppers. I've been not doing any exercise. I've been laying around, eating all kind of ice cream. I've been trying to gain as much extra weight, right, as I could for the weigh-in. So I'm at 237.8. Blinded is at 300. We're going to see who loses the most weight. My goal is to get down to like 180 and then work on some muscle to get me back up to like 195, right? I think 195 with muscle or 180 and just being skinny. Either one of those two, right? Either one of those two scenarios. But we'll see May 2nd. If you want to put some side bets on it, right? You want to go to Vegas, get the Vegas odds. You can go ahead and do that. What do you think, TJ? You know both of us. Do you think Blinded is going to win this one, or do you think I am?
I'm giving Blinded the chance. I'll be his coach. I'm there to motivate him.
I mean, if Blinded just like cuts his leg off, I think that's like 40 pounds right there, right?
Oh,
Man, he's veto sized. I didn't think Blinded was that big. And he's not here to make fun of. So that kind of sucks. But yeah, we're going to do that. We're going to take care of that. We're going to see who wins the big. We've done this. I don't know if you know this, TJ, but we've done this before previously on the channel.
Wait, you and Blinded?
No, me and Gary. Me and Gary have lost weight. And I won that one, right? This ain't no trash stream. No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Not on a Saturday.
Nerding out. Video games.
Yeah, we nerd out on Saturdays. Finbar says, I'll be his coach. I'll kick his fucking ass all over the assault course if I have to.
There you go.
We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I have faith in myself. I think I'm going to win. I have discipline. I think Blinded racks of discipline. Right?
You rack of discipline.
I'm very confident. Very confident. All right. DJ, you might remember a while back there was a thing called Stop Killing Games. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that sounded like a fad and a half.
Well, apparently they're still active, and
oh no,
we have an article on what their I guess their new goals or their new mantra. I don't know. But it says, this is from Games Radar. It says, Stop Killing Games says Anthem's scrap plans for local servers is what the initiative is all about. Quote, you as the customer should have the final say as to when you're done with a game, unquote. Yes and no. Again, when you're talking offline single player stuff, sure. When you're talking massive multiplayer online games, no, like if World of Warcraft ends, it ends. Like, I'm sorry. That's, it's like saying if let's say I get season tickets to the Chicago Bulls, right? Get season tickets to the Chicago Bulls, and then for whatever reason, the Bulls move to a different city, and they're like, and it's a different arena and everything. They're like, well, I'm sorry, right? Like,
tough luck.
Yeah. So no, I'm not done. With the Bulls, they need to stay here so I can see them. I know you really got to strain yourself for the example, but I can't. There's really nothing else quite like
entitlement. Like guy who likes Heelys is saying, you can't force them to keep spending money on the server. Like when it's done, it's done. Like they can't.
Are they still killing games? Yeah, still killing them. So it's kind of insane, right? Server costs are ridiculous. Sometimes the games close just because they're going to open up a new game or they got a new project they're working on, right?
Or not enough players. The game is actually dead.
So, but let's see. Let's read the article. It says, if you put money into the game, you should have a voice on whether you get to keep it or not. Now, here's what I'll say, right? What if let's do this, TJ? What if instead of allowing video game developers or publishers or whatever you want close their MMOs, what if you said you have to list what it costs, right? So let's say like in the example of World of Warcraft, right? So Blizzard comes out and they go, look, we're going to end World of Warcraft. It's going to be over, right? All right. Now, it cost us $100,000 a year to maintain the servers, right?
Yeah.
If you players give us $100,000, I don't care how you come up with it, right? Whether it's all from one guy. Yeah. Oh, we're gonna crowdfund it, right? It's gonna be you give us money, we put it into a thing like a little like the 80s. We got the big like thermometer like in the 80s, right? If we hit the goal, you guys get the game for another year, and then you have to raise another. Like you could keep paying for it as long as the players keep paying for it. The server will stay on. But if you guys if you don't hit it, we'll put it all in escrow until the payment is due, right? So if you don't hit it, then you just get your money back, right? You get refunded whatever you put into the initiative, right? Because I don't see any other way. Again, you can't force companies to spend money on a product. If the company went out of business, what are you going to do then, right? You're going to force some guy to pay for it.
they'll spend money on making the business come back to life.
Yeah. Guy who likes it says, especially if you figure they have people working on the game for anti-cheat. Now studios have to keep the team on payroll for any game that ever connected to an online server. It's too much cost. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. That's a good point. Yeah, not just the server cost, but now like the anti-cheat teams and stuff they have, probably plus the moderation support, people answering tickets, right, in case something happens.
Troubleshooting the bugs and shit.
Yeah. You'd have to have like a whole fucking team of people. It says Anthem, BioWare's maligned loot shooter, is officially dead. This week's server shutdown rendered the always online game completely unplayable, even to those who already own it. A practice the Stop Killing Games initiative has been fighting for close to 2 years now. So for 2 years, man, it's been that long, TJ. They haven't stopped.
They didn't get the memo. They didn't give up yet.
Stop killing games. No. Damn it, it's not working. We keep telling them to stop it. They just won't listen.
The games just keep dying.
According to producer Mark Dara, the seeds of the future Stop Killing Games envisions were in Anthem until shortly before launch. In October 2025, Dara published a post-mortem video running down Anthem's post-launch fortunes. Near the end, he describes his vision for Anthem next. An ultimately abandoned plan he believed could have given the game a No Man's Sky style turnaround. Crucially, this plan would have included locally hosted servers, something that already partially existed during development. It says Anthem actually had the code for local servers running in a dev environment right up until a few months before launch. Well, I would imagine most of those games probably have a local dev server so they can test things and bug check and all that, right?
Yeah.
It says I don't know that they still work, but the code is there to be salvaged and recovered. The reason you do this, it pulls away the cost of maintaining this game. So rather than having dedicated servers that are required for the game to run, you let the server run on one of the machines that's playing the game. These comments have come back into the news thanks to a nearly 4-hour compilation video Dara posted this week. Whoa. Responding to those headlines, the Stop Killing Games account on Twitter says that end-of-life plans, quote, for games like this is what Stop Killing Games is about. Every time someone tells you, like when you ask someone what Stop Killing Games is about, like you get like 6 different answers, right? But I guess this is what it's really about: is the end of life. Not to keep games alive. It's like putting games in an old folks' home, right? It's like old folks' home for games.
Life support.
Says, man, that Anthem thought Anthem was going to be it. Such a disappointment. Yeah, nobody played Anthem in the first place. This would literally be like paying insurance and maintenance on a car nobody will ever drive. What's up, Quaker? Yeah, it's insane. Again, like the reason these games are dying is because they don't. The community and everyone's moved away from them, right? Sure, there's like a small percentage of people still playing, but that doesn't mean nothing.
Looter shooters. Nobody plays them anymore.
It says, while Anthem is pretty widely maligned title, Stop Killing Games says in a follow-up tweet that, quote, it really is as simple as the principle of one man's trash is another man's treasure. If you put money into the game, you should have a voice on whether you get to keep it or not. You as the customer should have the final say as to when you're done with the game, not the company. I mean, you do have a voice by giving them more money so that they think it's lucrative and they don't kill the game, right? Did you enjoy Anthem? I never played it. Did you ever play Anthem, TJ?
I never played it either.
So it looks like
it's still out.
It looks like they failed in their in their whole goal, right?
They're on hard times.
You know who isn't on hard times? Is coming to us from a Eurogamer. Steam.
Oh.
Says Steam blasts past 42 million concurrent users as its sustained growth continues. I think this pretty much solidifies the idea that there's nothing else, right? There is Steam and then nothing else. I know there are other platforms. There's the there's that one that I always used to get the free games from. The Epic Game Store,
Epic
right?
Games, yeah.
But this is another YouTube situation where you got like the top dog, and then like way like the discrepancy from 1 and 2 is so large that it's like number 2 doesn't even exist, right? It says on the 1st of January, Valve's platform crossed the 42 million barrier, setting a new record. It says a lot of you are gaming hard, it seems. Steam has been on a steady growth trajectory for years now, with the COVID pandemic alone adding 5 million unique users only in 2020. On one, why? That's not a word, is it? Like, this got to be wrong. Am I retarded, TJ? You're from Europe land. Is that how they do that? One?
No.
This is a Euro gamer article.
What?
Like, that's what I was thinking. Like, it should be the 11th. Maybe it was supposed to be the 11th, right? Because it should be on first. It should be one. It should be ST, right?
Yeah.
That's weird. On 1st January, Valve's platform crossed the 42 million barrier, setting a new record. As reported and explained by, I'm going to go to the article over here just to see if they put 1th. Because if they put 1th, I'm gonna.
Oh, be a huge problem. Nobody's.
No, this is just a bunch of charts. Yeah, okay, so it's supposed to be the 11th because this is an article that came out on the 12th, and then it says yesterday Valve's leading PC. Yeah, so it's supposed to be the 11th, but this guy just typed a 1. He screwed up. Screwed up twice. Not 1th, it's 1st or 11th. This article is. You're saying this is an AI article, Music Master? Is that the accusation? The PC distribution platform has now more than doubled its concurrent user average since 2020, with new record peaks of activity becoming more and more common in recent years. The previous activity record was 41.6 million users in October 2025. And the full analysis solidifies the feeling that Steam and PC gaming as a whole has blown up in popularity in the post-pandemic era. A quick data analysis reveals distinct growth phases during this period. Before the pandemic, the Steam platform was growing slowly at a rate of plus 4.5% per year. The lockdown year obviously exploded the platform, as well as other gaming platforms, with a plus 31.5% in a single year, followed by a stabilization phase and current phase, which are both between 13.9% and 12.6% annual growth rate. You know, it'd be really interesting if they said if it was the majority of players on a few games, or you know how spread out that 42 million players are, right?
Yeah, which games are they playing?
Because it'd be like if it was like, say, like the top 10% of the games make up 90% of the user base, that'd be pretty interesting, right? But if it's like more even distribution, like, oh, there's a lot of people on a lot of games, I think that'd be interesting to know. Last month also was Steam's highest grossing yet, partly thanks to recent hits like Arc Raiders and viral indie sensations like Peak, on top of everything else. The quality of the more recent Steam sales has also been on the upswing, often countering the deep deals found on other storefronts. I just bought on deep discount. What the hell is that? Fuck. How is it that I just had it in my mind, TJ, and I just fucking forgot what it was that I was going to say? Am I
What
retarded?
type of game was it?
Front Mission. I bought the Front Mission 1 and 2 remakes. That's what it was.
Nice.
So Front Mission first, and it's like Front Mission second. They're both remakes, but they're good. But again, you know, I'm just a PS5 player. Says another reason behind this growth is the rising popularity of the Steam Deck, which I do own. Valve's portable PC that cracked open PC gaming for plenty of folks who wanted the benefits of Steam and other platforms without the technical hassles which typically come with gaming computers. Even with its technical limitations, it's become the go-to console for plenty of more casual players. I mean, is it beating out the Switch yet? Or is the Switch still dominating as far as the handheld gaming market? Says, meanwhile, the Epic Game Store also seen plenty of growth over 6 years, but we expected, most users only show up for the free games given out each week, refusing to spend money on a platform that isn't nearly as fleshed out as Valve's beyond the games themselves. Damn, that's cold. Throwing some shade. Just throwing shade on Epic Games. Are you a big PC gamer, TJ?
Recently, yeah. Like ever since I've been on this rabbit hole of survival games.
What have you been playing?
Right now, I'm playing Pal World with my buddies.
Oh yeah, that's right. You were saying that. Playing those. Says, I doubt the deck is really that big of an influence. Yeah, I agree. I think they're just they're coping. I think Eurogamer's really it's in the pocket of Big Steam. All right, this is the topic of the stream. Ubisoft, The Division, and Avatar Studio, massive entertainment with layoffs. Layoffs! More layoffs. And not just that one, TJ. Not just that studio. But Batman Arkham Shadow developer Camouflage has reportedly been hit with major layoffs, leaving behind a skeleton crew.
Oh.
So it's two studios just in the last couple of days. And we've been getting more and more gaming studios being hit with layoffs and stuff. What are your thoughts on it, TJ? Just on, without reading articles and without getting into the minutia, what do you think? What are your feelings about hearing game studios having layoffs and stuff?
Just another day in AAA gaming. Games are getting too bloated. They're not finishing on time. They're just always in development hell. That's it. That's what I'm seeing, at least.
I think maybe this is a stabilization of the boom period of gaming, right? You had gaming started booming, and then everyone was opening studios, right? Hey, gaming's hot, and then a whole bunch of studios opened. And I don't think gaming could ever really had the cash influx to maintain that many studios, that many active developers, right? It's like if suddenly a whole bunch of movie studios started popping up, right? You don't hear a lot of movie studios, new movie studios popping up left and right, these huge, new AAA, AA movie studios, right?
Most of them are indies.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. But with gaming, you're always hearing about boom, there's a new studio, right? Ubisoft hired this other studio, this new studio here, the studio open here, open. They were opening studios left and right, and now we're into oh man, that was dumb. We definitely should have opened all those extra studios. We didn't even need them, right?
Meanwhile, Microsoft is gobbling up all these other studios and then making them not work on shit.
Yeah. So let's read the two articles and see what they have to say. It says around 55 roles could be affected. Studio remains focused on future of the Division. I've never played that game either. Ubisoft has announced a proposed organizational restructuring at the Division and Avatar developer Massive Entertainment, which it says could result in 55 people losing their job. The proposed restructure affects Massive's Malmo and Stockholm studios and follows completion of a voluntary leave program launched last year and a finalized long-term roadmap, which Ubisoft says has provided clearer visibility into the structure and capacity required to support the two studios' work and sustainability over time. That's what I'm saying. Exactly what I just said. They have too many studios and they can't figure out what to do with it. They're not making enough money to have that many studios. Says especially if games go into sequels and knockoffs, you don't need to develop as much when you're copy pasting into the game. Yeah, I think more games need to make sequels that are just expansions on the first game, right? If you really love
the same engine,
well, not just the same engine, but even the same environments and stuff. Just add new enemies, right? Program new enemies. Look at. I'll give you a perfect example: Mario and Mario the Lost Levels. They're essentially the exact same game. The second one's just a little harder and they're new maps and stuff, right? But they've used all the same assets, right? Mega Man 2.
Like NetherRealm Studios is dumbass. Like every Mortal Kombat game looks different than the other. Each one is in a different engine.
They should just recycle the same fucking. You have all the sprites. You made all the characters. Boom, you got like 30 characters. Just recycle them into the new game. You leave the backgrounds. You don't need new backgrounds. Leave the just the story is the only thing that needs to be updated, right? The endings, the stories, maybe the voice lines, things like that, right?
Yeah. You know who's been doing that too? SNK. They never changed since King of Fighters 14. It's still the same engine, just updated.
Subjugati says they did Jedi Survivor as well. AI is going to fuck up the hardware market so bad. Studios will have to make games for toasters and figure out how to make them fun again to turn a profit. I think we're going to see a return to simpler games, right?
Yeah.
And we started seeing a little bit of that with like your Vampire Survivors and stuff. Like Vampire Survivor is not the most like highly detailed game. It's not like the most flashy. It's pretty repetitive, but it's just fun, right? It's just simple fun, right? Same thing with Balatro. Balatro's there's not much to it. It's just a card game. It's poker with extra steps, but it's fun, right? It's very addictive. Old games were like that. Whether it was Space Invaders or Pac-Man and stuff. Now I'm not saying we're going to go back to like super simple graphics, but I think we're going to hit a point where like they're like, this is good enough, right? We don't need to push the graphics any further than this.
Gameplay comes first.
Yeah, we can make a game that's just super simple, and people like it, and doesn't have to be like $100, right? And we can make enough money to maintain a studio. At least
That's
I
why
hope
Steam is making money. There's one game that's coming out that's like Morrowind at home called Ardenfall. Everybody's waiting for that. Like it's just very simple, like just polygons without, textures, and people still love that shit.
What the fuck with all these ads? This ad is in the way. Why is this ad?
Ads over ads. Holy shit!
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get rid of this ad. It's just like, look, it's.
Now you have to scroll down to see that.
There it is. Finally, I don't know. Just massive focus going forward will be the Division franchise, including development of a third game and continued support for the second, as well as the Snowdrop engine and Ubisoft Connect. The Division 3 was announced in 2023, but nothing from the game has been shown publicly. Recently, executive producer Julian Guridi claimed that Division 3 will have as big an impact as the Division 1. I don't remember the Division 1. Did it have a huge impact? It says, in addition to the Division, Massive is working on a game project focused on innovation and technology, which will be revealed at a future date and then subsequently canceled at a future date, right? It says, in an email to staff, the publisher said these proposed changes are forward-looking and structural. They're not related to individual performance or recent deliveries or the quality of work produced by the teams. Hey, you guys did really good jobs, but we're firing you anyway.
Damn.
That sounds. I would actually like. Could you just tell me we suck? I think that would be a lot.
Yeah, can you just be upfront? Oh, you can leave whenever you want. Okay.
Says the long-term direction for the studios remain unchanged, and we will continue to serve as the global home and lead for the Divisions franchise. Move forward with an unannounced innovative tech project with a refined team setup, and play a central role in the development of Snowdrop and Ubisoft Connect. The proposed restructuring will begin with a focus on individual agreements, and impacted employees are being informed directly and supported with care and respect in line with local regulations. We respect you as we ask you to clear out your desk and leave and never come back. They're handing out
firing.
They're giving you like $20 gift cards to Red Lobster. Like, we really respect your work you did here. There's a gift
along
card.
with the pink slip.
Yeah. The massive restructure comes amid a turbulent period for the Assassin's Creed publisher, which late last year opened a new subsidiary part owned by Tencent, Vantage Studios, which now oversees Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry. Tencent holds a 25% stake in a new subsidiary and will act in an advisory role with final creative and business decisions resting with the co-CEOs Christopher Durenz and Charles Goumont. Ubisoft claims it's shifting towards a less centralized operating model in an attempt to give creative teams more ownership of the brands they work on.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice to the 55
Good luck
employees.
with that. Yeah. Whoever's left.
Meanwhile, Batman Arkham Shadow developer Camouflage has been hit with major layoffs, leaving behind a skeleton crew, according to multiple reports. Twitter/X user Batman and Batman Arkham series enthusiast Arkham Videos has received reports from trusted sources. You love them trusted sources that Camouflage has been hit with major layoffs following Meta's recent restructuring, including Batman Arkham Shadow game director Ryan Payton and producer Matt Walker. They further mentioned the development team was effectively disbanded, with almost everyone let go, leaving behind a skeleton crew of fewer than 10 engineers and no studio head. The layoffs were subsequently confirmed by a LinkedIn post from senior animator Caitlin S. and level designer Jordan Pearson. Arkham Shadows was the VR one, right?
Yeah, it looks like VR. Look, you can see the UI.
It's probably the least played one because I don't think everyone plays VR. I hate VR. I don't know about you.
Who cares about VR? Yeah.
And the fact that they made a new game, right? It's in the Arkhamverse, but it's VR. Little implant ads. Time to smile again. Yeah. According to Arkham Videos, the layoffs didn't happen due to poor performance from the studio. See, again, like I would rather them go, hey, you guys suck and we're laying you off versus you guys did a great job and we made a shit ton of money, but we're laying you off anyway, right?
Here, have some ass pats as I throw you out of the building.
Yeah. They pointed out that Batman Arkham Shadow actually surpassed its internal goals, particularly through Quest headset bundle sales. They termed it as a sad outcome for a talented team that poured everything into Batman. I was going to say Bartman. Batman Arkham Shadow. They mentioned that knowing how much they cared about the project and the community makes this even more unfortunate. Why didn't they have them start working on a follow-up game? If the game did so well, right?
One that isn't VR, a typical Arkham game. Why not?
Or even figure out how to make the game not VR, right? Like, okay, you got the game and everything. Like, let's figure out how to just make it first person so you don't need to play it VR, right? Batman Arkham Shadows is an action-adventure title developed by Camouflage and published by Oculus Studios. The game was released on October 22nd, 2024, exclusively for MetaQuest 3 and MetaQuest 3S. It is the second VR entry in the Batman Arkham series following Batman Arkham VR, and continues the storyline established in Batman Arkham Origins and Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate. Taking place 6 months after the events of Arkham Origins, the game focuses on a younger, less seasoned Batman. All of this is just extra shit they added to like none of this matters to the article. Like telling me what the game was about, right? I halfway through reading that, I was like, wait a minute, what am I reading here? This is just
the description of the game.
But again, I don't want anyone to lose their job. I think that's terrible that people are losing their jobs. But I definitely don't think that gaming could afford this many studios, this many AAA, and you got to get back down to the lean and mean operations, right? If that means making games that are not like 4K with fucking entire orchestras and music being fucking produced by that, just simple shit. Go back to chiptunes. I remember chiptunes. That shit was great.
And shit. Come on, you're wasting money at that point. Like, imagine wasting all that money and then people not buying that shit in the end. Like, it's a waste. You're burning money at that point.
I mean, apparently, even if people buy it, they're still like firing people. So it doesn't even matter.
Yeah.
Guy who likes Healy says, I mean, were they doing another VR Arkham game? Why keep them around if you aren't making another one? I mean, that's a good point. They should have, though, if they said it did so good, right? I don't know. All right. Last article of the day. This one is a weird one because I don't know how to feel about this, TJ. Stunning action platformer Mei Jogami sheds Switch console exclusivity for PS5. Cuts up a 28th of May release date. So it says Inti creates vibrant action platformer Majogami will shed its Switch console exclusivity and strike PS5 on the 28th of May. The Japanese dev has announced. The title first launched late last year, but will be ported to Sony console alongside a major update, which will add 12 combat trials to extend the replayability of the release. Why can't I?
And they're adding content to the PlayStation release. Holy shit!
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. First off, I've never heard of this fucking game, right? Secondly, apparently it was a Switch exclusive. Again, I've never heard of this thing, right? I don't hear Switch players like going, "Oh, this is this is why you buy the Switch," right? Was this driving sales to the Switch? Like, why was it exclusive?
From one Japanese console to another, I guess.
Yeah. Just it feels weird that it was exclusive to the Switch at all, and it feels weird that now it's coming to PS5. It's like, okay, like I guess. Was anyone asking for it? Right?
No.
Ultimate Alliance 3. Let's put that on the PlayStation. I think that would get a lot of sales.
Make that happen.
Right? It says, here's how the studio describes the game per a press release. Majogami, and I actually have the trailer. We'll watch it in a minute. But Majogami is a new high-speed 2D action game designed and directed by Yuji Natsumi, the official illustrator for Blaster Master Zero series. Players control Shiroha, who must use her katana Kamakiri to slice through a bizarre papercraft world and the horror she finds there. While it's not entirely similar, elements of this game remind us of Puppeteer as well as Muramasa the Demon Blade. So if you liked either of those, we reckon you'll have a good time with this. A limited edition physical release will be available in Japan, featuring an art book and 2-disc soundtrack. But there's no word on whether this will be available in Western territories as well. The full game features over 35 stages and 13 bosses and received a pretty solid reception upon its Switch, garnering an average Metacritic rating of 76. So it's not even like a really highly rated game, right? And here's the other issue. If it was built for the Switch, right? Doesn't that mean that it's probably... it's going to run slower and everything, right? It's not like a 60
They're going to have to remove features, right? Because you have, features that are exclusive to the Switch.
Yeah, but I'm saying beyond that, like the Switch isn't as high powered as the PlayStation. So like the game was built for this less powerful console, so it probably runs slower, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how that's going to work. I feel like...
Have you seen Mortal Kombat 1 on the Switch? That shit was a nightmare.
All right. Now the moment that Music Master has been waiting for. The world needs Echo the Dolphin.
Oh,
guys, let me take you back. Let me take you back several years. About 7 years now? 7 years ago. Man, it's a long time. A long time. 7 years ago, Tommy Tallarico teased Echo the Dolphin for the Amico. Do you remember this, TJ? Probably not.
Yes.
You did? You remember this?
Well, yeah, you and the guys brought it up. Yes.
Well, then you didn't remember it. You heard.
Yeah, I wasn't there, obviously. Yeah.
But he teased this. He teased this for the longest time, and he was always showing this one animation of a dolphin jumping out of the water, right? And he was always saying that this was the Echo the Dolphin. And it's funny because I talked to Ed Annunziati. He never indicated anything about a new Echo the Dolphin. People found footage of that game, right, being run on a Switch. And it was like, it wasn't even called Echo. It was called something else, right? But it never came to be. There was never an Echo the Dolphin game on the Amico. But now, we have it. It was called Dolphin Quest. That's what they changed the name to. They made a big deal. I mean, here's a video from DJC Game Studios, guys. This has 1.2 thousand views 3 years ago.
Oh, shit.
We're not going to watch all the his blah, 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 but We'll just watch the footage of the game. So he said, we know the team that made the original Echo the Dolphins working on this. Fact check, false. No one from the original team of Echo the Dolphin was working on this. Ed Annunziati had the license, or not the license, but he owned the trademark and stuff for Echo, right? But as far as I was aware, the team that helped make Echo was not working on this at all, right?
Why does this look like Shark with the dolphins?
Well, it was 4-player. All they showed off was like 4 players and like they're like getting balls and jumping out of the water. I think what it looks like is they're getting different pearls and jumping out of the water with them, but beyond that, there's literally nothing. And that was it. That was all that was ever shown of the game. Then he shows off some like old fucking shark on television. Then he just shows the exact same trailer like several times in this video.
Just on repeat.
Just on repeat. But right now, we're finally getting it, guys. It only took us 7 years. Shout out to the War Girls of Edo, whose newest video takes place in an arcade. It's in topic.
Shout out.
The dev later showed it to Pat on the Switch, I think. Yeah, it was at some event and they were showing off. It says Half Moon Bay, California. A&R Artiller announced today that Echo the Dolphin is officially in development. Guys, January 14th, 2026. Echo the Dolphin is officially in development. This doesn't say January 14th, 2018. It doesn't say anything about the Amico, but it says originally released in 1992, Echo the Dolphin garnered critical and commercial acclaim at launch. I always liked playing Echo, but never actually play Echo. I just like the very beginning where you could just swim around and dive out of the water. That's all I would play. Like the actual gameplay was just fucking convoluted in a mess.
Oh, it's a nightmare. True. This is nice to look at.
Yeah.
Playing
it's beautiful. It has been years in the making, and we're honored to bring Echo back, said Ed Annunziata, Chief Creative Officer at A&R Tiller. Echo has always been more than a game about a dolphin. It's a bridge between worlds. While specific details are still under wraps, A&R is pleased to share that, in fact, several new Echo the Dolphin products and games are currently in development. Information regarding these upcoming projects and partnerships will be announced at echothedolphin.com as development unfolds. Additionally, A&R has launched the official Echo the Dolphin Discord server where fans and newcomers can connect with developers and join the community hub for all things Echo. The community will receive exclusive updates, behind-the-scenes content, and early looks at what's to come. You know what's funny is years ago, Ed Annunziata tried to launch a Kickstarter for a game called The Big Blue, which was supposed to be a spiritual successor to Echo the Dolphin. That never got funded and never happened. So it's weird.
Mighty Number 9 situation.
No, that actually got funded though.
Oh,
but it's weird.
Does it exist?
Yeah, so they kickstarted The Big Blue, but it didn't get funded, so it never came out. That's what I'm saying. Like it's weird that he's like, oh, now we're gonna do it, but he must have tricked somebody. Ed Annunziata is a great guy, very passionate about dolphins and the ocean and conservationism, right? But he had to like dupe somebody into thinking that, like, yeah, definitely Echo the Dolphin's a huge name that needs to come back in the game, right? Like, what would a 6th generation console Echo the Dolphin game be, right?
I mean, they managed to make Bubsy 4D and Shaq Fu, so you never know. It's crazy out there.
Shaq Fu was like a joke to like, oh, look, we could actually make a good Shaq game.
I mean, a decent game
was just like, Bubsy was like, hey, do you remember that stupid Bubsy game? Here's a new one. Look how, isn't that funny? They were both done for like the lulz almost. This looks like it's a serious like passion project, right?
Mario, Sonic, this fucking fish.
Mario, Sonic, and this fucking fish. All right. So let's share this screen. Now let's play a video. Guys, this is War Girls of Edo X Lovecore Craft X. Apparently it takes place in the arcade. TJ, are you excited to see Perps? I was going to call him Pimps. Perps' new video?
Hell yeah. I actually liked the Necronomicon. That was a good one.
Stray Bean says it's going to be like Stray, that cat game, but with a dolphin. Michael Jordan, Windy City Chaos. Chaos in the Windy City, yeah. Charles Barkley, they made that sequel game. Did you hear about this? Before we get into it, there was a Charles Barkley game that was made in RPG Maker, right? And then, like, supposedly there's like a cult attached to it or something.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know about that?
Talk about satanic panic. What? Okay.
Yeah, it's really weird. So, and then there's another game there's all these like indie games where like, oh, actually if you play the game and then like you put this code in, it's like actually there's like really like cult things underneath it, like all these fucking stupid ARG shit that they do, right?
Right.
Nice. That should be the start of every perp video.
Nice hat.
Yeah. Previously on the War Girls of Edo.
So this is an excerpt from the previous song. Oh shit! They're in the video game.
Uncanny. Now landing, and I'm laughing. I'm an eldritch bitch with a village tank. Got suckers attached to my appendages. Hands with extended clips. Tattoo your bitch freaking shit. Fuck this. I ain't a menace. Unless it's running shit with a cop at the end. Hand that got extra kicks from King, so we take their mess along with everything in it. So when it's, I'ma need a ghost. Send a letter to the afterlife. They're terrors. Say I'm still on me, not forgetting. No matter where they're going. Even at the pearlies I'm showing. Even at the pearlies. I'm climbing mountains. Let me outside. Poison famine. Keep missing by night. I got all 7 in my bag, son.
Cthulhu!
Come to harm us by giving us stardom. Something says I do. That made it worse. Something says I do.
Not the arcade! They were Cthulhu all along? That's crazy. I'm very confused. Me too, Steve Lanuto. Me too.
It's much more mellow than the previous song, that's for sure.
This is going to be the greatest AI band of all time. I don't know. I don't know what Perp's using for his prompts and everything, but man, it's on point.
Like actual directorial skills. That's what's really happening. You know, unlike some people.
Well, not just that, like
It feels
like,
legit.
I've seen AI and it like messes up on stuff, so I just imagine how many prompts he's had to go through to get it to
Yeah.
like This
Like,
is my
you-
favorite AI Japanese all-girl punk band. Yeah, mine too. He's
like
using
Peter
slave
Jackson,
labor.
you know, like he would film the same scene like multiple times, and then he'd have to pick which one works for the movie.
Yeah. You know, when our AI overlords take over, they're going to be like, oh, you guys said nice things about that AI video we made that one time for Perp. You can live.
Yeah.
Unlike certain AI videos that can't get the back of a Saiyan combat armor right, I don't know what you're talking about. I have a feeling that it has to do with people that hate us, but I don't know that for sure. All right, so this is the game that's coming over to PlayStation. It was a Switch exclusive. It's got fantasy violence and suggestive food.
Jiggle physics, bud. Okay, Metroidvania shit.
I don't think it's a Metroidvania because I don't think there's backtracking. I think it's more of a Mega Man.
Okay, yeah, just straight.
Inti creates 30th anniversary project. Majogami.
My
Ajugami.
It looks fine. Like
Presenting papercraft character action. Shiroha finds herself in a
it looks slow. And again, I think maybe this is because of the Switch where it started,
Yes.
right?
And you can tell it was made for the Switch again because of the UI.
Yeah.
world with only her father, Shiori, turned into a mere slip of paper and no memories of her own. Her weapon is her katana, Kamikiri. Setsuna allows her to slice with godlike speed and move with complete freedom. Standing in her way is Aradia, who turns the mad craft witches against her. Consumed by their obsessions, the craft witches will not allow Shiroha to escape.
Cosmic abomination. Burgess would love this. Too bad it doesn't have a PlayStation though.
Lots of anime lollies, bud.
Their voices are irritating. They always do the same time. Ooh, that's the biggest chest. You're gonna show us every boss in the game?
Not just that, but like, are all the bosses
Oh,
like
the whole
lollies?
game. Yeah.
Perfect gooning material, bud. Yeah. Game out? Well, I'm like, oh, this is the best game ever.
Literally, they're showing us the entire game. Look at this.
Even the girl Shiroha saved attacks her in a terrifying transformation. As the battles heat up, the craft witches
Wait, oh, fetter chains.
As the battles heat up, the craft witches unleash their most powerful attacks, which Shiroha can push back with her Setsuna attack. On top of the craft witches, the witch Maxi also
I like the
I think we've seen enough of this.
right. At this point, they're gonna show us the entire game. Look, like the whole minute left.
Here's something better. Here's something that I was she getting raped by paper? No. Hell yeah. That's just army with camping.
Farming camp. Straightforward. The art style is nice though.
Your path to farming greatness begins here. I've wish listed already on PS5. I don't know if I'm getting old, but I just like these stupid, cozy games.
Yeah, my friends are the same, so I can't complain.
My name is Brian Johnson. I am the CEO.
All right, this is Echoes of Elysium. It's an early access.
Co-founder here at Lork Games, a small independent game studio made by gamers. Echoes of Elysium is our first project, a airship survival RPG where we want our players to get into the skies and play an airship game where the airship really truly is the center, their base, and learn to survive and thrive in the skies of a Greek afterlife. The new launch date is January 27th. For early access, we plan to launch with English, Chinese, both traditional and simplified, Brazilian Portuguese, Spanish, French, Japanese, and we look to have a quick, very fast follow-on with German, and then we'll be adding more languages throughout the year. We're a small team, and we've been building this game for the last couple of years, so we don't have the budget to really throw at completing the game fully and then releasing it. And actually, to be fair, even if we did, I'm not sure that we want to. Because so many times in our history as game developers, we spend forever building a game and we do it in a vacuum without our community. And we end up building something that we enjoy, but maybe the world doesn't. And so this is a change in that.
Again, I think, man, I'm like, on the one hand, it's good to get like player feedback and to fix the game and things that need to be fixed. But on the other hand, I think it's better to deliver your vision and have it fail, right?
Yes. Just release the beta, no problem, and then update it later. Especially like the indie developers can get away with that shit, not the AAA.
Pretty ass selection of games this week. Well, I'm sorry, Finbar, but there's not a lot of new games came out.
We're taking our game to early access because we want to build this game with our community. We hope that players are going to come and see our game and see that we've really focused on trying to make a game that is about surviving on the airships with your friend and thriving in this beautiful world that we've developed that's really focused on being bright and airy and accessible.
World it is.
But also for those of you who join early, you'll get a 10% discount on the game. We
10% discount.
know that you might run into more bugs early on as we continue to press things up. So we want to reward you for that. We partnered up with an awesome content creator, BenQ, who made this amazing, huge airship PC sponsored by AMD. We encourage people to sign up, wishlist our game, and enter the competition to win this PC. And we look forward to seeing you guys in the skies.
I mean, it looks like a fun little stupid game.
I'll try the demo.
All right, this one is a Indian game, I believe. Look, we're promoting indie games because Gary's not here to do it, so we'll do it for him. I like this art style. Very cartoony.
Oh.
Maybe it's Indonesian, not Indian. I don't remember. Some country with an I.
The art style is good though.
That's what I'm saying. I like it. That's why I picked it. 'Cause I like the art style. Says when Kajori realizes that her peaceful village has been reliving the same day over and over, she and her friends seek out to try to uncover the origins of the mysterious time loop cursed on her village. So, I think it looks interesting. I like the art style. I think the art style looks fun. Look, another crafting game. I love these. Asking an anime girl. They're just lovely.
Oh shit! Oh, factory. Okay.
I do think that the character model and the in-game assets are like so different. Like this doesn't have like an anime aesthetic.
Yeah.
And then you're like, oh look, it's like an anime girl.
It reminds me of that other game. I forgot. Like all you're doing is building factories. Factorio. It's like you're an anime girl, but you're playing Factorio.
All right. This is Ghetto Zombies Graffiti Squad. Very like zombie Eat My Neighbor.
Yeah.
Badass squad.
Homeless Larry game.
Ours called Crazy Guns.
This
This is
looks
what I'm
fun.
talking about, like the stupid games. I'd play this for $10. Loads of colorful graffiti. Imagine being a tagger during the zombie apocalypse. Ghetto versus zombie.
I like that there's enemy variety and it's not just zombies.
If you can't say the N-word while killing zombies, I don't want it.
They have to spray paint that.
Deadly Neurotoxin says, have you ever seen that one series on PS1, PS2 where you experience a summer vacation of a kid in Japan in the countryside? There's a recent entry that has Shin-Chan. I do not know what game that is. Not heard about that. Sounds interesting. Sounds like something I would play. That's the Hulk. You can't tell me that's not the Hulk.
Oh yeah. Or Solomon Grundy.
All right. So this is Winnie's Hole, guys. The last game on our little adventure here. TJ, can you guess what this is based on?
I see a yellow bear and an owl. I can't put my I can't put my finger on it. Yeah. Does it involve honey and the paint?
It's based on Lovecraftian horror.
Oh shit.
As life goes on, our friends may change, sometimes in ways we think are strange.
Oh, there it is.
In ways repulsive, gross, unknown. We can't accept you how you've grown. This infection deep inside us, played by you are the virus. Inside the body seen below, place your block-shaped spread and grow. Survival is not guaranteed. Your host more of a friendly breed. With both of you under attack, command his brain to help fight back. Each block you place will play a turn, combining actions that you've learned. Mutate, evolve new virus strains, unleash potential he contains. Unlock content for collection. Research leads us to perfection. Grow your host with common goal. What will you find in Winnie's Hole?
It's like Darkest Dungeon.
Winnie's Hole. I mean, other than the Winnie the Pooh, like, it doesn't feel like they're using Winnie the Pooh to its like full potential, right?
Yeah, it's just references in passing. Oh, it's just Winnie, and there's the owl. Okay.
I watched Winnie's Hole on a different website. Yeah, I'm sure you have. But I'm saying, like, yeah, like I said, just like in passing, they're talking like clearly that's Winnie the Pooh and Owl and all them, but it's like it's almost like that's all they got going from. Like, man, if we call it Winnie's Hole, like people will buy it because it's that Winnie the Pooh game, and not like it's a good game that people want to play, right? Feels like a cheap cash in. All right, man, we're streamlining tonight's show, and let's go to the polls, and then we can get out of here. TJ, we can call it a night. Sound good to you? Sound good to me.
Let's go.
The guy from Wonder Years would be excited to pick this up, but very disappointed when he started playing. Winnie Cooper. Everyone had a crush on Winnie Cooper. All right. 4 days ago, I said, pick the one you want more videos of. Video game news, movie TV news, comic book news, or all of the above. Astoundingly, all the above won. So you guys are enjoying it.
Overwhelmingly.
Right? You don't want me to lean in one direction, so we're going to be talking about all three of those things.
You can see it's like almost equal, even the other ones. It's a good sign.
All right. I said, are you excited for the real Game Awards 2026? 106 votes. 6% says, yes, I love them. 50% said yes to mock them. 44% said no. I'm excited for it because I would like to mock them too. I definitely want to see what they do this year, how they improve over last year, right? What controversies, what game devs are going to yell at them for nominating them for these awards?
What Gunnar games are they pushing? You know,
what exclusive stuff they're going to show off, right? So I'm very excited. All right, don't forget we had that member stream. Members, we dropped some very exclusive stuff on that stream. It was a very highly contentious stream. Stream canceled due to technical issues. That was TJ's technical issues, not mine.
It's both of us.
So 1 day ago, I said, should we EFAP an old stream of us EFAPing a now lost Finatra stream, proving Dark Gift Comics is a lying piece of shit?
73%. Look at that.
73%, overwhelming majority said yes. I don't like EFAPing my own stuff because I feel that's cringe. The only reason I considered it in this instance is because that Finatra stream is lost to time, right? His channel was nuked until that stream is gone. All right. Ask us anything. This is, man, the questions in here, TJ, spicy. I'm going to say clip this. I'm going to let the StreamYards know. And then I want a timestamp on this bad boy because I think I'm going to go for the first time. I'm going to do the Ask Us Anything, and I'm going to clip this section and put it as a separate video. Okay. So Zeno says, I don't want to. Just Another Guy says, full story recap of Cynic and Imprint, whatever. What was said to you behind the scenes and everything, please. That's a TJ. How long do we have? Do we have all night?
Sure.
All right. Just Another Guy. When you say full recap, I'm assuming you want like everything that happened with him, us, leading up to here,
began.
Right? So the full recap would be that we were doing these streams, and Wizard of Wordplay was invited to join our team. And everything was going good. Everything was good. It was me, Wizard, Finbar, TJ, right? Other people would come in. We talk comics, we talk video games, we talk Marvel stuff, CG stuff. We did some EFAPing. And then I ended up going on a stream. I forget whose channel it was on. But it was the stream was basically about you know what? It was, what the hell's her name? Fuck. It was, come on, help me out here, TJ. What the hell is her name? It's on the tip of my tongue. Fuck. Hold on. Let me. I'm looking through my DMs because this was a while back. But on that stream, we ended up. It was me, Dick. I think Mint was on the stream.
Oh, what's her name? God,
Dalish, and then there was one more because she was hosting it. They were trying to explain to her why Eric July was an idiot, right?
No, it wasn't Ray.
No, it wasn't Ray. Going through my DMs. Ashton Blaze.
Ashton, yes.
So Ashton, she was doing a stream, and basically they were trying to tell Ashton what was going on with the Eric July situation and Riley and all that, right? And that's the infamous where Dick like breaks his headphones, right? So on that stream, Dalish was on that stream, and then I proposed to the guys that, hey, we should have her on, right? Because she was talking about how she's like in the video games and stuff. I was like, oh, we could have her on, and that'll probably, we'll get some extra eyes, right? We got some chick on the stream with us, right? So I invited her to be on the streams with us, and she agreed. She's like, yeah, I'll come and do a couple streams, whatever. And she came and we did a stream, and it was a lot of fun. Everyone enjoyed it. The fans seemed to like it, right? And so I basically was like, hey, if you want to come back every week, right, you can come back every week. And for Gabbing with Geeks, we do this on Saturday every week. You can become like a regular, right? And so Wizard had a crush on her. Okay, Wizard had a crush on her. We only, if only we could go back and not do that certain stuff, says Finbar, right? Is it the Chrissy Mayer Ashton with the fake tits? I guess. I don't know who she hangs out with. I just know that she's Ashton. Possibly she has fake tits. I don't. It's neither here nor there. The point is, we were on her stream, and then Dalish came here, started doing streams with us. Wizard was like, hey, she's hot. I want to bang that. And so we, in our infinite wisdom, we decided, hey, we're going to, Wizard has a chance, right? Wizard has a shot. He can shoot his shot, right? And we were all like, yeah, Wizard, you can shoot your shot. And we ended up, myself, Finbar, TJ. This was unbeknownst to Wizard, right? Wizard had no idea we were going to do this. But after the show, the three of us just left. Remember that, TJ?
Yep.
Just left. So it was
left them behind.
Yeah. Because the previous week we all talked, and it was like, because after the show we usually talk and shit, right? And so we're like, we'll just leave. That way Wizard's not embarrassed to like try to like shoot a shot in front of us, and he could shoot a shot. And boom, we didn't even tell Dalish. Dalish had no idea, so we just left, and it was just the two of them there, right? And so they talked, and it didn't quite work out, right? He was from my understanding, we weren't back there. We don't know what happened. But from my understanding, he was a little nervous. He was a little nervous boy, a little cheesy. And, wasn't happening. So I was talking to her at the time. And we talked in DMs and talked on Discord and stuff. And so we're talking and being friendly. She was being friends with Wizard, and then that whole situation just kind of escalated, right? And during that time, Wizard was like, "Hey, should I do this?" Right? Like we're trying to like give him friendly advice on how to like just relax, calm down, don't worry about the fact that she's not like responding immediately and stuff, right? Don't be nervous about this. Just play it cool. Just giving him general advice. And Cynic was also in his ear giving him advice, and he would tell us, "Hey, Cynic." Yeah, Cynic would tell us, he'd be like, "Oh, Cynic told me to do this," or Cynic said I should do this instead, right? And we're like, "No, don't listen to that guy. The guy's a fucking idiot," right? And we'd constantly be like, "No. Like, but I don't know whether he listened to us or Cynic, right? I'm not privy to their private conversations, but eventually it got to the point where I took Wizard to the side and was like, "Hey, it's not going to happen, bro. It's not going to happen. You just got to like give up on this happening, right? It's not going to." To me, he seemed like he understood, right? But I guess he was just saying that to appease me. And the reality was like he was upset about me telling him this, right? And I'm sure that it was partly due to like Cynic in his ear and like egging him on and shit, right? And during that time, he was shit talking me to Dalish behind the scenes, and she told me, and I confronted Wizard. I'm like, "Hey, you need to stop throwing me under the bus. You need to stop talking shit about me." And he'd always be like, "No, I'm not talking shit about you." I'm like, "Dude, I know. Like, she told me this," and like I started like saying certain things. He's like, "Oh, well, yeah, I said that, but it was like a joke and blah blah blah." I'm like, "Dude, you don't need to like shit on me to make yourself look better. Just be yourself. Be a normal person and stop fucking throwing me under the bus," right? Eventually, we get to the point where we're going to launch our comic. We're talking about it, right? We're talking about doing the comic and stuff. And I said, I don't feel right detracting Eric July if we're going to have a comic, right? Like, even to this day, I still think like once we launch the comic, I don't think I can detract Eric July just because it's like we're in the same space. Like it's competition is like I wouldn't be shitting on like it'd be like if I owned a small little grocery store and I'm talking about some like other grocery store that's like 2 blocks down, right? Like, "Hey, don't go to like Joe's grocery over there on 58th. You got to come over here to Tony's on 61st because Joe's is a fuckhead," right? Like, so I feel like it's weird, right? The Chris Stuckman logic, I guess, but I think it's weird, right? And so I was like, "Hey, eventually, Wizard, you're good enough. We got an audience here, right?" I was like, "You could just take over for me, right? You could take over. You, TJ, and them, they'll still be on the stream with you, right, as your backup, and you could just be the lead guy, right?" And we didn't really discuss like what was the monetary breakdown going to be or whatever. Like we're not making hundreds of thousands of dollars, but obviously, if he was the lead guy, I would give him some money, right? And whether it was a 50-50 split or 80-20 or whatever it came out to be, right? He would get some money. And he was on board and he was cool with it, right? And we got far enough into these conversations that we announced, and I don't know if you remember this, TJ, but we announced that Wizard would be taking over for like a Wednesday or something, right? Like he would do the stream on Wednesday. We announced that. The next day, Wizard quit. Wizard's like, I'm not doing the streams with you guys no more. And I'm like, what do you mean you're not doing the streams with us? He's like, yeah, I don't want to do the streams with you guys no more. I'm like, dude, we literally just announced that you're taking over on Wednesdays and you're going to be doing the streams, and now you're like quitting.
Even did it live instead of doing it backstage.
Yeah,
that was the problem. Like it was a fiasco.
Yeah, it was a whole fiasco because live we announced it, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm bored with it." And then the next day he's like, "No, I'm not going to stream with you guys no more." And it was live. I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, what do you mean? Like, you didn't say anything to us, right?" It was like really weird. And out of the blue, he's like, "No, I don't want to like stream with you guys anymore." And so we're like, "Fine, whatever." Like he's going to go off and do his own thing on his own channel, and he didn't want to detract Eric July, and he didn't want to like do what we were doing, and he wanted to be his own man. And I'm like, fine, whatever. And we wished him well. And I think we even pushed people to go over there, like, hey, go watch Wizard after our show or whatever, right? And so it was, again, like I thought everything was fine, right? But again, I'm stupid apparently, and when I think things are fine, they never are fine. And there was a shit talking behind the scenes, and people getting in his ear, and people telling him shit about me, and just all kind of crap happening, right? What's up, Red? Red's a member for 26 months, and I'm trying to remember this as accurately as possible, right? The timeline. So I think at this point, he's talking shit, but we're still more or less cordial, right? But he's still, behind the scenes talking shit about me, and I believe, I think I even apologized to him like a couple of times for like, like if you thought that I was like fucking with you too hard or whatever, right? Like, but he would always say these things like, "Oh, we're cool, it's fine, everything's good," right? And then turn around and like tell other people behind the scenes that like I'm an asshole. Okay. Like if I was in DMs with Cynic, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, it's cool, bro, we're fine." I'd be like, "Fuck you, I hate you, right? You're a piece of shit." Yeah. But Wizard would be like, "Oh no, we're cool, it's fine, bro," and then like go and like say like shit about me behind the scenes. So eventually, he's sniping at me. I'm doing my own thing, and whenever we would say something, like people would ask me, like, "Hey, what's up with Wizard?" I'm like, "Oh, he just left. He didn't want to, he's doing his own thing now." And I try to like downplay everything, and because I don't like to air my dirty laundry, right? I don't want to do this kind of shit. But so we would always downplay that and just be like, "Oh, he's doing his own thing. He's over on his channel, and go check him out." Blah blah blah. But again, like I don't know if it was him or other people telling him, but like I would just say things like I'd be like, "Oh, I don't like this game." Like, "Oh, that was about you, bro." Like it's like Tony's got like coded messages and he's saying this, but it actually means this, and like
assigning intent.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure it's probably because Cynic was in his ear. Because even now, like Cynic, like you'll listen to him and him and DG and them like he said this because he means this or he really thinks this, right? It's like no,
if
like
that's the way they talk to each other live. Imagine how they are backstage, right? And I've seen some of it.
Yeah, so I'm not that guy, right? There's no hidden meaning, there's no hidden intent behind the things I say. They just are, right? Like I'll be very upfront. So eventually, I go away to California to do that thing. And all those guys are like shit talking me on Dave's stream. They're all like, talking shit about why am I even there? Like I'm a nobody. Why would they invite me to be on The Biggest Problem? Right?
Should have been me.
So I get back. And I'm like, I'm done with all this, right? I'm done with you guys, blah, blah, blah. And then, of course, Cynic and them, like ex-girlfriends, right? You can't be done with them, right? And so instead of just going, okay, Tony's going to do his thing, we'll do our thing, whatever. No, like suddenly they're like now like jigging into stuff and like trying to like talk to people and ask people shit, right? And making accusations about me, claiming that I did this. They're using alt accounts to fucking come at me. And that's why I did the whole thing where I was like, hey, what the hell's his name? Chris Bacon. Chris Bacon was going at people that were fucking with him. And I was like, hey, there's this like troll. You can add him to the pile because I thought it was Wizard, but it turns out it was Cynic, right? And Cynic's like, oh, it was me. I'm like, bro, I didn't fucking know it was you, right? Like, I have no idea.
You know it was me. You know it was me, Tony.
Yeah. And I was like, I thought it was Wizard. I was like, that's why fucking I told Chris to go check him out because I thought Wizard would come up and be like, oh, it was me. Fucking, you don't have to do it. I'm sorry, whatever, right? Because I even told him like publicly on Twitter, I'm like, bro, I know it's Wizard. And he's like, no, it's not Wizard. It's not Wizard, right? Because again, he's a fucking pussy, Cynic. Instead of just going, yeah, this is me. This is my alt account. He wants to play games, right? So eventually he had to admit that it was his alt account.
This is why he doesn't want to confront Perp.
And so that shit happened. And then then they started getting mad because publicly, guys, publicly, not privately, not hidden, not behind the scenes, not because Tony's embarrassed, but publicly, I was still friends with Dalish, and I would be like, oh, you're going to end your stream? Here, let me send you some food, right? That way you can keep streaming. Because she'd be like, oh, I'm going to end the stream. I'm like, no, don't end the stream here. Like, because again, my thought was the more fans she gets, the more fans that they're going to come when she comes to, on our show to be an appearance. She'll bring those people with her, right? It was mutually beneficial. And she wasn't getting paid to be on the stream or anything. So it was like, oh, well, I sent you like, here's fucking $10 worth of fucking tacos or whatever, right? I sent Saggy fucking Whopper the other day, right? I'm like, whatever. It's not a big deal. I sent Riley a pizza once. I don't know why people think like it's a big deal. Like, oh, your friend's like, hey, I'm hungry. Okay, here's some food, right? But anyway, so they started like being really weird about like, oh, Tony likes Dalish and Tony sent her food and Tony did this and Tony's simping, bud. Did you send Vito food? No, I don't know where Vito lives. I don't have his address.
Sounds like an idea.
And the whole thing with me sending Dalish food, it was a joke. It spawned from a joke because I had said, I was like, oh, since I got your address, I'll send you food the way EVS sends food to Shane Davis, right? Like I'm gonna send like
that's where the meme came from, right?
A bunch of fucking hot dogs to your house or something, right? And then I'm the kind of person like when I sent Riley food, I was like, he's like, send me a pizza, bro. I'm like, well, I can't because I don't know your address. And then he sent me his address, and I'm like, well, fuck. Now I gotta send you a pizza, right? Because you called my bluff. And so it was like a similar situation, right? Where it's like, I said I'd send her food, and then she's like, oh, you said you send me food, right? I'm like, oh, fuck, now I gotta send you food, right? He sent Kelsey food. Yeah. So I was sending her food, and Wizard was like being really weird about it. Again, this is all behind the scenes, right? He's being really weird, like, oh, I can't believe that you took food from him, Dalish, and I didn't think you were that kind of woman. I thought you were different, and blah, blah, blah. And I don't know if she was complaining about me to him or he was complaining to her about me and just agreeing with him to shut him up or whatever, right? But I guess he was under this impression that she like didn't like me or hated me or was like whatever, like weirded out by me or something. Because he was like, I didn't think you were that kind of woman, blah, blah, blah. And so he was like really upset. And then when I found out that Wizard was really upset that I was sending her food, I just started sending her more food because I was like, well, I'm an asshole, right? Like, oh, you want to complain about me doing something? I'm going to do it more, right? So eventually, I made up with him, and but again, like every time I made up with him, he'd be like, "It's cool," but then it wouldn't be cool, right? It'd be cool, but then it wouldn't be cool. So then Dalish does a stream with Ray, basically saying like these guys are idiots. Because here was the issue, right? They started saying shit and talking shit about us, right? Did he really say to an OnlyFans girl, I didn't think you were that kind of woman for accepting food? Yes. According to Dalish, yes. Bro, she's an OnlyFans girl. How dare she accept the almighty Big Mac? Well, we would make jokes of it, right? Like one day I sent her a chili cheese dog, and I'm like, I just sent you a foot long, right? And she'd like make jokes and laugh about it on stream. So he was really upset about that. They started using that as like ammo to like, oh, look at Tony, he's like sending Dalish stuff and blah blah blah, right? And again, it's weird because if I'm sending stuff to her house, TJ, right? You realize I have her address. I had her phone number. I still have her phone number technically, right? Like I talked to her on the phone. I've talked to her in the middle of the night. We've had conversations, 2-3 hour conversations in the middle of the night. We were friends, right? I guess again, it's like weird. Like I think I'm someone's friend, and then it turns out like the person's not my friend, but whatever, right? So, she was one of the few people that had my phone number. I had her phone number, right? We would talk in the morning. We would talk at night. I would talk to her in the middle of the night and then go to work afterward, right? That's how long we'd be on the phone sometimes. but we talk on Discord and Twitter DMs and stuff. So we conversed a lot. I'm saying that to say this. These guys were trying to make it into some weird, like, one-sided, like, Tony's, like, simping for her, but she doesn't talk to him situation, right? Like, oh, like, she's on his stream, but that's it. Like, no, like, I don't know the situation with her and Wizard, but I can tell you for a fact that we were cool, right? There was she would call me or text me just as, not as much. I don't know, like 60-40, 70-30. I don't know the percentage, but there was, it wasn't one-sided where like only one person was reaching out to be friends, not the other, right? But they're talking this shit and they're running their mouths and they're doing this shit. And yeah, it was annoying to me because it's like, hey, they're saying things that aren't true, right? Like, they're not true. Just, say something about it, right? Why don't you just say something? She'd be like, oh no, I don't want to, I don't know if these guys were like fucking gooning to her OnlyFans or like giving her money or fucking members. Maybe she didn't want to like piss them off because they were like fucking.
She did complain that they were stalking her, though. She did complain, and she was like begging us to make it stop somehow.
Yeah, she's like, well, if you stop saying anything, then they'll leave us alone and they'll stop. I was like, they're not going to stop, right? They're not those kind of people. So eventually, she did that stream, and she's like, hey, this is all fucked up. You guys are fucked up. Blah blah blah. It's still on the channel, right? But then she got mad because I was mad. Me and Mint and Riley were not friends at the time. And she did that stream, so Mint got mad at her for doing the stream. Mint has said, I've talked to Mint about it since then, and Mint was like, oh yeah, well, that's because Riley told me to yell at her for doing that stream, because Riley was mad at you, right? So Mint yells at Dalish for doing the stream. Dalish throws a fit because she's like, oh, I thought you guys were friends, but you guys aren't friends no more. And like now, like they're yelling at me because I did this thing for you. So then I get mad at her. So we have a fight in the DM group. And she ends up going on the stream with Cynic and them to then 180 and say that, no, actually, I did beg her to like do the stream and blah, 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 right? Meanwhile, me and Finbar had a quote unquote fight. He was going away. Finbar goes, hey, I'm going away. We should like do this fight. And then like people were like, oh my God, like Finbar left. Like there's a little kayfabe drama, right? So then he'd come back to this big, like, oh, Finbar's back type thing, right? So we go on the stream, we do the fight, right? Me and Finbar. And immediately after the stream was over, they're contacting Finbar to, oh, you could stream with us, bro. And it sucks that you and Tony
right away.
Right? Yeah, you and Tony fought, but that kind of sucks. But you could come hang with us, right? Dalish did a 180 in less than 24 hours. Very strange. Yeah, it's exactly what I said. Yeah. Straight beans. Because we got into a fight. So she did a 180. But if you watch that stream, they're shit talking me and trying to get her to shit talk, and she's still like, I don't really want to talk about him like that, right? This is almost as bad as Renowned and fans flipping out when I point out observations of rules for thee, but not for me. Yeah,
they're the exact same thing. They're a bunch of Sturgises, yeah.
So Finbar and me do the fight. They contact Finbar. Finbar's like, well, I'm bored. And he tells me this later, right? He doesn't tell me this right away, but he tells me this later. He's like that he was bored. And he's like, well, fuck it. Let me see what they want, right? Let me see if there's anything going on, right?
It's like me and the ARA. Oh, well, these are a bunch of scumbags. Let me just sit there quietly.
Cosmic says, I thought Dalish did the 180 because he took the rejection too well for her ego or something of that sort. It's complicated, Cosmic, okay? Very, very complicated.
Just another guy, yep.
Tony's power is turning women against him by holding them accountable.
Yes. This has been the, common theme.
So you know, we were friends. We weren't friends. We were friends. We weren't friends. We were flirty. We weren't flirty. We were flirty. We weren't flirty. It's a whole thing. Okay. Yeah. Tony, are you the new guy in her videos? I knew it. Whose videos? I'm not talking about a guy who likes Heelys. Anyway, so Finbar's going over there. He says, my aim was initially to find out who made the photos and who the alt account was. But as time went on, there were more stuff popping up, so I had to keep going. Yeah, so Finbar's over there doing his stuff, and he's investigating all this shit while this is happening. And eventually, Finbar goes, hey, guys, I got to tell you something. He spills his guts like, hey, I've been over there and pretending to not like you and blah, blah, blah. And he goes, I even told them that I can't leave your streams because we got a contract, right? And so I'm like, what? I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, yeah. He's like, as far as they know, I'm contractually obligated to be on your streams, and we signed some deal and blah, blah, blah. And Wizard tells Finbar that they should bully Dalish so that she would stop hanging out with us, and she would go running to to Wizard rather, and then Wizard could reject her, right?
In his words, he'd give her the cold shoulder.
Yeah, I'll give her the cold shoulder.
Trying to be a badass.
And so that's when Finbar's like, hey, I got to tell you guys what's going on, right? Because like this guy's like talking about like bullying her and like being mean to her, like trying to get me to like get her like to leave the group and stuff. And so that's why I ended up going on that Ruby stream and being like, oh, you guys are like trying to like fuck with Finbar's contract. Like I played into the kayfabe of like Finbar having a contract and stuff. And part of that was to be like, look, I know you guys are talking shit clearly, right? Clearly, I know you guys are talking shit. Clearly, I know what's going on, right? And they were like, no, we didn't do this, right? But again, as far as they were concerned, Finbar had a contract and they're trying to like help Finbar weasel his way out of this contract and to how to get around it. And like, don't worry, bro. I work with a lot of lawyers, and lawyers, they could help me to get you out of this contract and yada, yada, yada. 40%, it was a chance to get rich. Yeah. So all that goes on, right? And they get really mad and embarrassed that Finbar was like kayfabing them, and they're all mad.
I know they fell for it too. Like Red is also like losing his mind laughing.
Well, it wasn't that they fell for it; they wanted it because they wanted Finbar to hate me, right?
True.
And
they wanted to believe.
Yeah, it's like this new thing. Someone sent me a screenshot of the chat, right? And Wizard's like, yeah, everybody who leaves Tony has the same story. No, they don't. Ninja Kitty got fired because he was talking shit in a Discord behind our backs, and when he was confronted about it, he denied it, right? Gary was let go because he started being a jackass. We would call him what the hell is it? Bad Luck Gary or Bad Choice Gary or something like that, right? We were making fun of him because he would always like make predictions that were wrong and
Bad Take Gary.
Yeah, Bad Take Gary, right? We'd be like, oh, you're Bad Take Gary, right? It was just a joke. It was a friendly joke, and he thought it was funny. Again, everyone thinks it's funny until they don't, right? And so he flipped out about it, and that's why Gary was gone, right? And then Carl left because Carl started talking about weird Nazi shit, and we're like, hey, we gotta like, you can't be on here anymore, Carl. Hammock Man, I'm still cool with Hammock Man, but he left the internet pretty much. He would come back from time to time, but he's pretty much left the internet because they were fucking with him in real life, right? Blinded is still here. He took off because he was going to school and he was doing the school stuff, but he's still around, right? Finbar is obviously still around. TJ's still around.
Potion shows up every night. Like even in my case, like you'll notice every year there's a 3-month period where I'm gone.
Potion was here, and then like he's sick, so he didn't want to like have to be here all the time, and then the obligation got too much, and he's like, well, I'm just gonna do things on my channel at my own speed. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like me and Potion are still cool, right? He just doesn't come on the stream no more. So this narrative that like I've fallen out with everybody, or like everybody has this same story about like Tony being mean. Blinded's out. He said right now. He said he's out this week.
He's touching grass, bud.
Yeah. So anyway, I dig posting. I like posting. It's a little lefty. We would have fights. Says, why does Dalish hang around their chat with all these gay ops going on? I have no idea.
Hatred, brings people together. That's the problem.
She popped up in our chat. What was like a month ago, right? She hates us. She hates me so much, but she popped up in our chat. She's apparently always mentioning me, right?
She's even like lurking in Vito's chat and shit. Like she just hovers around people she hates for some reason.
Yeah. And so that's all going on. And then eventually, you guys remember I took my 2-week break, right? We all remember the 2-week break. This narrative comes from Tiamat, so you have to.
Yes. Yeah. Their trusted source.
So because I am open and honest with you guys, we're for the first time, right? This is an exclusive. You can clip this, okay? So I took a 2-week break, and everyone's always asked me why. Why did you take that 2-week break? I always said personal issues, right? I got personal things going on. I said I don't know if I'm ever going to come back to the internet, right? And it was a very serious time, okay? And there's always been theories. People have floated various theories about what's going on. And I think Cynthia has even floated a theory where he's taken credit for it, right? That he bullied me off the internet, right, TJ?
Meanwhile, Purpose out there bullying him off.
A guy who likes Healy says, yeah, that's when it got bad. During that break, people flipped hard, okay? So here's what happened, okay? And again, this is me. I'm being honest and open with you guys, okay? And this is, it's never been revealed before, but we're going to go ahead and reveal it right now, okay? And this is a serious matter. So I went to LA, okay? And no expectations, right? I was going to go hang out with some friends. We're going to do the show, chill out, whatever, okay? So I get to LA. And obviously, Vito never picks me up. He says he wasn't supposed to. I was under the impression from talking to Riley. Riley was like, "Oh, make sure Vito picks you up on time," and blah blah blah. And so I was assuming that if he's telling me this, that he must have talked to Vito and everything's coordinated, right? But apparently it wasn't. Okay, so I get there late, do the show. Okay, now prior to going to LA, Dalish had messaged me, right? DM'd me. We're still talking, we're friendly. And she DM'd me and she said something to the effects of, if somebody hits on me while we're in LA, are you going to be jealous? Right. And I was confused, right? I was confused because obviously she's a pretty girl, right? She's a pretty girl. So I would just expect that people were going to hit on her, right? Whatever. She's not my girlfriend. So what the fuck am I going to be jealous for? But she had messaged me that, right? And in my confusion, I said, no, why do you want me to be? Right? Because again, I was confused. And she's like, no. I was just asking and blah, blah, blah. Right. So I get to LA, I do the thing, do the show. We wrap up, we go upstairs, and Riley and Mint and Dalish are there. And so is Johnny, not Johnny Rocket, Johnny, the audio guy from the Dick Show. Right. So Johnny, the audio guy from the Dick Show is there. And, turns out that her and Johnny just started dating, okay? And she didn't want no one to know that they were dating, right? And so we, do the show. We hang out. Everyone's hanging out, having a good time. I'm a little autistic, so I'm kind of sitting by myself, playing with the dog, looking at my phone, a little weirded out. At one point, we're on the back porch, myself, Johnny, and Riley, and someone else had came over, right? And they were inside, and that person was talking to Dalish and Mint and them. And Johnny looked over at me, and Johnny goes, I thought I was going to have to worry about you. And I was confused by this because, again, I didn't know who Johnny was, right? I never heard of Johnny. I don't watch the Dick Show, so I didn't know that he was, sometimes on the Dick Show as the audio guy fill-in. I didn't know who he was at all, right? And so I was confused. And apparently he knew who I was, right? So apparently someone had told him who I was and that I had a thing for Dalish or something, right? Because he's like, oh, I thought I was gonna have to worry about you. So that was weird, right? That was a weird situation. So we come back. I come back from LA, and I had told Dalish in DM. I said, hey, I don't think I really like you like that no more, right? Like we hung out, and we're cool for friends, right? And we're like, yeah, we're cool for friends, and we'll still, we're both kind of flirty people, so we'll probably still be on stream flirting with each other, or whatever, like saying stupid stuff, but it's no big deal, right? And then I made some jokes in DM about Johnny, and she didn't appreciate that, right? She didn't appreciate the comments I made about Johnny, right? And so she gets mad at me, and she's like, I don't want to talk to you no more, and blah blah blah. And she blocks me on Twitter, but she's still in the DM group, right? So she blocked me on Twitter, but she's still in the DM group, and she's still hanging out on the shows, okay? And then, so 2 weeks go by, right? And she tells me when we were in LA that I grabbed her ass. Not even grabbed her ass. Let me rephrase that. She said when we were in LA, on the way when we were leaving Dick's house, that I had patted her on the ass on the way out. I said, no, I didn't. She said, yeah, you did. And she was really upset about this, right? She was like, you patted me on the ass on the way out. I said, no, I didn't. I said, on the way out, I had a box of pizza in my hand. And so how could I have patted you in the ass, right? Because I was holding the pizza. And she's like, oh, you could have been holding it in one hand, and we were leaving, and you thought no one was going to see. And so she's like accusing me now of like sexual harassment. I don't know, like it's not assault. It's somewhere in between the two, I guess, right? But basically accusing me of like patting her on the ass without permission, right? And so I was very upset about this. And so we end up scheduling a StreamYard between myself, Finbar, and Dalish, right? To talk about what the hell is she talking about, right? To talk this over. And she's very adamant that this happened. And I'm very adamant that it didn't happen, right? And now she's like, well, I don't want to make a big deal about this, but if you don't want to admit that you did it, I'm going to have to tell everybody and, make a big deal about it. And I'm like, this is bullshit, right? Because it didn't fucking happen. And I'm getting pissed, right? And Finbar knows he'll back me up on this. I'm getting pissed. I'm like, no. And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. This didn't happen. I'm like, I had the pizza box. I'm like, I could remember everything that happened that night. It wasn't that long ago. I have a really fucking good memory. She's like, well, no, we had drank a little and stuff, right? So, things had happened. Things of, I've talked about it before, but, had a little booger sugar and smoked a little, right? But I still remembered exactly what happened. I'm like, no, on the way out, I was like, on the way out, they said, hey, grab that pizza. And I took the pizza and I was holding it. And she was putting her shoes on because everyone else took their shoes off at Dick's house, except for me. I was the asshole that didn't know you had to take your shoes off. Right. So she's putting her shoes on and we were talking on the way out. And so I didn't fucking touch her ass, but she's adamant. Right. And so she's saying this behind the scenes with me, Finbar. And eventually I concede that there's a possibility, right? In order to get her to drop the issue, I'm like, well, there's a possibility, right? But maybe I didn't remember exactly. Because I was even like, well, maybe the pizza box hit you or something, right? Or like, because I was like, no. But so finally I do concede. I was like, well, maybe it happened, right? Whatever. And she's like, oh, good. I'm glad that you're willing to say that. And it's not a big deal. It's just like friends, you're a friend, like crossing the line a little, but it's not a huge deal and blah, blah, blah. And I'm pissed at this point, right? I'm fucking pissed. And I'm like worried. I'm worried like a motherfucker. I'm like, I don't know what, 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, she didn't say nothing, right? And then she pulled out this accusation. And this is not, I want you guys to understand this, right? After we left Dick's house, we all drove to, because I ended up staying in the hotel room with Riley and Mintz in their hotel room, and Dalish was staying in the same hotel. So we all drove over to the hotel, right? And I was in Riley's car. We drove over there. We met them over there. They hop in the car, and we're all in the car sitting sitting in the car talking in the parking lot. Everything was fine. She didn't say anything about anything there, right? The next day, we're all fine again. We're talking. We're having a good time in the morning before the Saturday meetup. At the Saturday meetup, we're talking. Everything's fine. Everything's good. Comes back from LA. Everything's fine. Everything's good. In fact, the night that it supposedly happened, after we get back to the hotel, I couldn't sleep because Riley and them were snoring. I texted her at like 4 in the morning. 4 in the fucking morning. I texted her, hey, I can't fall asleep. Riley and Mint are snoring like fucking, they're loud as fuck. I forget what I said, but it was something to the extent of, hey, these guys are snoring loud as fuck, right? And she texted me back at 4 in the morning. Okay. But apparently I had touched her ass, and that was a huge deal, right? 2 weeks later. So I was really upset, right? I was upset about this, and I was like, man, this is, and I'm sure as soon as, these guys get a hold of it, they're going to now like run with this huge narrative, right? And that's what I was afraid of. I was like, man, if she comes out and starts saying shit about me, like that's it. Like, I don't want to drag you guys down, and we got the comic we're working on, right? And so I was like, I need to take a break. So I took a 2-week break, and I was like, that's why I was like, I don't know if I'm going to come back, right? Because I don't know what was going to happen in those 2 weeks. I don't know what people were going to say. I don't know what she was going to say, right? I know she's talking to those guys, so I don't know if she's telling them. Spoiler alert, apparently she's been telling everyone behind the scenes that I smacked her ass, right? So I think she's told Vito. I think she's told Dick. Obviously, she told Mint and them. She told Schizo Sean, right? Oh, the old pizza in the hand didn't do anything. So shut up, George. So, that's why I took my 2-week break, right? So now everyone knows that's the exact reason why I took my 2-week break. And after 2 weeks, I thought about it and I said, fuck it, right? Fuck it. I'll just, she's not saying anything. I'm not going to say anything. We're just going to go on with our lives, right? And I'm only saying anything now is because I found out that basically she's been telling everyone behind the scenes anyway, right? And apparently she's also been like making it seem to whoever would listen that it's like this weird, it was weird one-sided, right? So I'm sure that when she talked to Cynic and them, and she presented it as this like weird one-sided thing. And again, I'm not saying we were dating, and I'm not saying we were anything more than friends, but we definitely both talked to each other. We definitely were talking. She was messaging me in the morning, hey, good morning, what's going on, right? I would message her. We would talk at night. We would have phone calls, whether it was a Discord call or an actual phone call on the actual phone, right? I had her actual phone number, right? And so it was a mutual back and forth friendship. And even she was told that she had to stop being friends with us, right? So that's why she stopped showing up on the stream. But she was still in our group chat, right? She was in our group chat. So that's why it was weird. Like, even after she made this accusation to us, right? Even after she said that I had grabbed her ass or touched her ass.
Yeah, that's the weird part about it, right? She was still hanging around.
Yeah. She was still in the group chat. She was still talking to us. She was still
if it was that massive of an issue, she would have been gone.
So that's why I was like, this is fucking weird, right? And so ever since then, and then, Cynic and them have just been saying like I bullied Wizard, and I was trying to take Wizard's girl, but I didn't even get the girl, and this all started because I was mean to Wizard, and that's why they don't like me. But then they changed their story constantly about he is suicidal, but really he wasn't. But bullying's real, but it's not, right? Like they don't bully Liam, but I can bully Wizard somehow, right? So it's all bullshit.
Their own rules.
Yeah. They just make up things. They say whatever they want. They don't have any consequences. They don't give a shit about them, the reality or truth. They think that truth is decided by committee, right? And so that's the entirety of the situation. And everything else I think you've seen play out in public, so I don't think you really need me to recap what has happened since then, right? But yeah, that's everything, right? So now you guys know. Sketchbook says, what are your thoughts on Cynthia being on Comicsgate Live and Ethan replacing DG with Cynthia as a regular on CG Live? I don't give a shit. Ethan could have whoever he wants on. I don't care. I think that more people who see Cynthia will eventually realize that he's a piece of shit, right?
Yes.
Again, like
make that comic book, Cynthia. Make that comic book.
Well, forget even the comic book. Just when it came to Cynthia, they were running their mouths for a long time, for almost a year, right? And we really wouldn't say nothing about them. And so that's how they were thriving. And then when people started seeing them, they go, man, these guys are pieces of shit, right? When you guys started looking, going, oh, what's going on over there? Those guys? Oh, man, yeah, they're pieces of shit, right? Look how they're treating Liam. Look how they're talking about this guy and that guy.
It's also, forget all of that. Forget the Liam stuff. It's just false advertisement. You know, there's simps out there are saying that they're good, you know, they have good comedy and make people laugh. But when you see Cynthia out there just crashing out and yelling and screaming about perp, it's not a good look. You're just angry or hiding your anger with forced laughter. Like, people can see through that shit. It's off-putting. It's like lol cow behavior.
First Liberties podcast says, Joseph here. I stand with Tony. I've seen how far some women will go. Knew a guy who was accused of choking a girl, and video showed she blatantly lied. She wasn't fired. Yeah, like I said, it's just weird for her. Like, it wasn't a big deal, but it was a big deal. But then it wasn't a big deal, but it wasn't. It was a big deal, but not big enough deal to stop being in my group chat, right? Yeah. So I'm at this point where I'm like, fuck it, whatever, right?
JCW make fun of that shit with the Big Al storyline.
Wait, how did Cynthia get a hold of Imprint Comics?
There is no Imprint Comics. It's just something they came up with.
So when it comes to Imprint Comics, you had Booker and Preston were working on a comic together, right? Those two were working on a comic, Booker and Preston. And Cynthia decided to weasel in with Preston. And she would always come to me and she would complain about Cynthia and Booker not getting along and blah, 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 blah. And at first, I didn't know Preston was a girl until later, right? It was like much later that I figured out that Preston was like, oh, Preston's a girl. I thought Preston was a dude. So eventually, Cynthia tells Booker that he'll buy Booker's part of their comic company. And Booker's like, no, I'm not selling you my shit. And eventually Preston sells her stake to Booker to then go with Cynthia to make Imprint Comics. And then they just took all of Booker's ideas and changed the names and slightly changed the story.
Timu Booker Comics.
Yeah. So,
not even bothering to come up with new ideas.
Yeah. Damn, guys, Niners just got their ass whipped. So, yeah, that's how they got Imprint Comics. He basically weaseled his way next to Preston, got Preston and Booker were childhood friends. Booker pays for Preston's schooling. Preston sides with Cynthia between Booker and Cynthia and decides to go with Cynthia to make comic books.
A scam artist. This is scam.
Can they make a comic company if they haven't put out a book? That's so goofy. I mean, they can call themselves whatever they want, right? You could call yourselves Imprint Comics, Bullshit Comics, Big Daddy Comics.
Entertainment 720.
Doesn't matter, right? So yeah, as far as my thoughts on him replacing DG, I welcome it. I welcome it because he can only fake it so much, right?
Yes, that's what I want to see. Like, more of his real self will show to the rest of the world.
And then also, how is his audience? A lot of his audience hates EBS. How is his audience going to react when he's kissing EBS ass, when he's being nice to EBS, when he's bigging up EBS and telling EBS how great he is, right? How is
he's Don Malin's friend? That's it's a good choice there, Cynthia.
Remember, they gave DG. They always give DG shit over the Ethan stuff. Imagine how they're going to give him, right? So, Cynic's best chance of making money would have been to join up with Mike Wheeler. Without that, there's no money for them. There's no money for anyone who isn't in the upper tier of CG. I don't think there's money for anyone who doesn't have a like massive runaway hit comic, a huge platform to begin with, or is just very, very lucky, right?
Trying to be Critical Blast at home. Come on.
Yeah. So yeah, I think him going on Ethan would only be funny. It would be hilariously funny for the rest of us, right? And again, he went on CG Live and he's gained maybe 4 subs according to Social Blade, right? So, good job. I mean, I went on Ethan's show a couple times and I got a couple thousand followers. So, Alan Roman Walsh says, I can guess Tony, but the why Frog, definitely missing some lore here. Oh, you're missing some lore there. The reason that they call me Frog Tony is because I used to be Tony TGD, and I had a frog avatar, and I've talked about this many, many times. So I had a frog avatar, right? And Mint has a friend, Tony from Hack the Movies, right? And so Mint was like, in order to keep you guys separate, like, so I know who I'm talking about, I'll refer to you as Frog Tony, right? Because you're the one with the frog avatar. So eventually Mint's calling me Frog Tony, and she's talking about me as Frog Tony, and other people are picking up on this, and they start referring to me as Frog Tony. It got to the point where I was like, I told Finbar, I was like, I think I need to change the channel and everything because everyone's, referring to me as Frog Tony, and no one's saying the Geek Getaway, no one's saying Tony TGD, right? So I think for brand recognition, it'd be better if I was just Frog Tony. And
SEO too, right?
Like, I became Frog Tony.
Kind of help.
Yeah. Guy who likes Healy says, my thing is that he literally gets loud, yells the N-word, and does drama shit. Yeah. Booker and Preston childhood friends, if that's so, even sadder. Yeah, as far as I know.
Shameful.
Yeah. Again, Preston would always come to me complaining about Cynthia and Booker fighting. And then she was my friend, quote unquote. And then Cynthia got in her ear and suddenly she hated me too, right? So I don't fucking know. Finbar was dead against the channel name change. Tony was proved right, though. Yeah, I told you, brand recognition. Everyone knows me. Dennis Rodriguez says, why is the King Frog membership priced the same as paella with chorizo in a proper Spanish restaurant or Hawaiian pizza in a Napolitana pizzeria? I don't know. The King Frog membership is the $500 tier, right?
Yes.
That's expensive food. Yeah. The King Frog tier, the reason that it's $500 is that's for exclusive content. Like there's certain streams and there's certain like members content that I know people want to EFAP, right? And so I was like, oh, you guys want to EFAP this? Boom, $500.
They could afford it. I mean, they've been saying they could afford it, but
Cosmic
they
says
got that money.
Worse, guy who likes Healy's, he makes drama content while promoting people that are in his stream. Yeah, one of the reasons why that I stopped having people come on and stuff, right, was because I didn't want them to get involved in drama, right? Obviously, if I'm doing drama shit and I'm being stupid and crazy, I don't want like, oh, hey, Graham Nolan, could you come on while I'm like yelling about Eric July and like acting like an idiot, right? I don't want that shit. If you go back and look at my interviews with people, it's like I interview someone and the whole stream is about that person and their comic and stuff like that. And we don't do drama. That's why on the suburbs, right, on the CG suburbs, we don't talk drama. We talk about comic book articles and people's campaigns and we promote stuff. But we don't do drama on those streams because I don't want, if they're not cool with drama, if they're not drama farmers themselves, I don't want to drag them into this shit, right? I want to leave people to be able to walk away from our channel and not get dirty, for lack of better terms, right? Finbar says, what is each of the panel's preferred type of bush? Era is fine, 70s, 80s, 90s, etc. But accurate description is preferable. Full bush, Brazilian landing strip, and martini glass, etc. Since I'm not on panel tonight, I'll give you mine. I know I often joke about 70s bush being my preference, but I'm probably more of a late 90s, early 2000s bush lover. Enough to grab a hold of on top of, but well groomed where it matters. I do like having a forest to go camping in, but I like the cabin to be in a clearing rather than engulfed by foliage. If you catch my meaning.
What kind of question is this, Finbar?
Yeah, what kind of question is this, Finbar?
Okay, I'll go first.
TJ, what kind of question is it? I will answer it now. Go ahead, TJ. Go first.
Bermuda Triangle. Now figure that out.
Bermuda Triangle. I think a landing strip is fine. Just a nice little, almost, or an arrow. If you can get it like an arrow, that'd be nice. I have seen some where they like make it into a heart, right? Nice little heart bush.
Finbar says it's an important question. Yeah.
Ivor Christensen says, what would you honestly estimate Dark Gift's IQ to be? Honestly, I would say Dark Gift has probably an 85, 87-ish IQ. Not dumb enough to be legally retarded, but like just barely over that, right?
Yeah.
He's not a very smart individual. He's not witty. He's not fast on his feet, right? He's not, again, he's not retarded, and he's competent to like have a job and stuff. But he has no memory. He's very forgetful. He lies.
A pathological liar, though. That's the problem.
He's a weasel. He can't, like, if you give him a hypothetical or show him logic, like it confuses him. Like he can't follow simple logic, right?
Shows that he doesn't have like critical thinking skills at all.
Yeah, and he always, like, when you give him logic, he always has uses an excuse of, oh, I wasn't paying attention. Can you repeat that? Oh, I walked away, or I wasn't listening. I was looking something up, which tells me that the reality is he doesn't understand, right? He's too embarrassed to say, I don't understand.
Yeah.
When I go A,
dialogue tree.
Yeah, if I go A equals B and B equals C, therefore A equals C, he goes, huh? I wasn't listening. What? And you'll see, like, I repeat myself several times, and then he'll like go back to someone else's stream and go, I did this on purpose because I wanted to show how much of a jackass Tony was. By pretending to not hear what I said and completely misconstruing everything I talk about, yeah, that shows how much of a jackass I am, right?
By embarrassing yourself online.
Oh my God, Kurt from that perp stream, I could imagine, was a -10.
That's all of them. That's their audience.
Just another guy says, thanks for the lore drop in context, Tony. Great stream. No problem. Like I said, it's about time. I think we're far enough removed, right? And it's a shame. Like, I did like Wizard. I thought he was a nice guy. Turns out he really isn't. He's a fucking weasel, right? He's a manipulator. He's an emotional manipulator. He runs his mouth about people and then tries to play victim afterward. So, fuck that guy.
The problem is we are still genuinely trying to be creatives, in the words of Eric July, trying to make a decent comic book and not starting shit left and right, just trying to keep the record clean, making something customers would be happy with. But a lot of these bastards took advantage of that, That's the problem. Like, they were blackmailing us, manipulating us to do some weird shit. But we made it through.
We always do. And we separate the wheat from the chaff, right? And again, a lot of these people, I want you to understand this, right? When I came back and I said that I was cutting a bunch of people out and I was going to streamline the streams and I was going to have less panel members and all that, right? All those guys thought that they were the bee's knees, right? I know I'm fucking aging myself by saying that, but they thought they were like the best of the best, right? Oh, Tony needs us. We're so good on stream and we're the best panelists and we're the reason that people watch the stream for us. Wizard not getting, hold on, TJ. Wizard not getting any views. Pastor, what the hell is his name? Help me out here.
Oh, Father Hostage.
Father Hostage, right? I was gonna say Pastor Hostage. Father Hostage. He started doing red pill shit, which is the reason why I didn't want him on the stream anymore, because he was trying to do red pill shit here, right? He's pretty much off of YouTube. I think he went to Rumble, and no one gives a shit about him anymore. Jester, what's he doing? Nothing. I think he pops up on Cynthia streams every once in a while, but his channel is fucking dead. His channels are dead. Let me rephrase that, right? Because he has 2 different Jester James accounts. One's for like gaming, and one was for like other shit. And he was gonna have like a political one, and he was doing this whole thing where I'm gonna get all these channels and make all this money. He got no fans. He'll say that I didn't make him because he had some video years ago about Kingdom Hearts that made a bunch of fucking views. Then he never followed up on it and never got anything. Right. And when he was here, he was a nobody. No one cared about him. And when he tried to go off on his own, no one cares about him. Right. I was relatively anti-Tony at the time, but even then, they didn't care for any actual criticism. Like, I don't agree morally all the time, but they just acted scummy.
Everybody had the same conclusion at the end. Like, for a while, I was trying to be neutral, but then I found out that they were doing some really scummy shit. Same happened with Stray Beans.
Tony has been legit since day one. Thanks, you Super J. Says, Lamal, I completely forgot about Father Hostage and that Jester guy. Yeah. I mean, even Richard, right? Ricardo.
Oh, Ricardo, yeah.
No one cared about him until he came over here, and then he tried to do stuff on his own, and no one cared about it, right? And people blame me like it's my fault that no one cares about their content. It's not. I'm sorry I'm better at this than you are, right? I'm sorry that people care about my opinion because I can actually look at comic books and like criticize them and deconstruct them and give you the art errors and go autistically about all the different things, right? Anyone paying attention knows this.
They're all just ripatard light. That's the problem. They don't want criticism. They don't want anybody to tell anyone to improve. They just want gland handing.
Yeah. I've been from day one, right? Like if you got legitimate criticisms for me, I'll gladly accept them, right? If you go, hey, Tony, your voice sounds weird, or your mic's too loud, or there's too much background noise, or whatever. Like I've tried to improve as much as I could, right? And to the best of my ability. But these guys were never offering criticism, right? Like telling me, oh, you're fat and stupid and we hate you is not criticism, right? Like if you come to the channel, if you come into the chat and you're like, fuck you, I hate you, go die. And I go, yeah, I'm just gonna fucking block you. Like I don't have time. I'm not gonna sit there and fight with you over it, right? No, I'm not fat and stupid. Like I'm just like, okay, you're blocked. And they cry about that shit on fucking Twitter too. Like, Tony blocked me. Yeah, because you weren't offering any criticism or any sort of like.
It just amuses me that they're themselves fat and they're saying this shit. It's like Sturgis behavior again. Like, can you go to the gym for a while first before talking?
Again, I don't even give a shit about any of that. Like, TJ's really concerned. Like, oh, these guys are fat, so why are they? I don't care. To me, I don't give a shit. Right. The point for me is I don't care if you're fit or not. Like, that's not criticism. Like, you coming at me sideways to just shit on me is not criticism, and I just not gonna put up with. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and fight with you, and I'm not gonna let it so you could just constantly like bug me with this shit. So I just fucking block you, right? Like a frog paw, a curse or some sorts. They wish for clout, but the finger closes out. Finbar says, if Tony wasn't honest as he is, me, TJ, Blinded, and Altoy would have bailed a long time ago. Yeah, well, I don't know about Altoy. He hasn't been here that long. But yeah, like these guys, that's the thing, right? Like Finbar and TJ, they've been around long enough, and even Blinded, that when things happen, I tell them, like we talk about it, like, hey, here's what's going on. Like they knew about this other shit and the behind the scenes shit, right? And, that's why they would back me up on stuff, because they've seen DMs and text messages and stuff, right? So they know what's going on. I'm very open. Yeah. You know, if you're in the inner circle, I'm very open with you. I'm going to tell you what's going on so you know, right? I don't want them blindsided any more than they would want me blindsided with something, right? Guy who likes Healy says, it's what happens when small-timers feel they can attach to a rising point at the time. During the EJ saga, little guys could grow fast, and it's all crabs in a bucket. Yeah. Red says, I remember a while ago, Wizard was bragging about getting 5 new subs in my DMs. Meanwhile, I gained 10 subs in a year while uploading only a couple of videos. I went from like 6 subs to whatever I have now in the course of a year and a half, while barely putting anything up at all. You Super J says, I started following Tony because he made sense. No BS, just facts and analysis. Not trying to blow smoke up your ass, just calling it like it is. Well, thank you. And again, like I'll say stuff and I'll make comments and I'll make jokes, right? But when it comes to actually like, now I was talking about this the other day. I think with TJ and Altoy, right? It's like we can be silly. I can come out here and be silly and do the stupid stuff, but then boom, I'm reading the Smash legal documents, and you'll see like there's a change in attitude, right? Like this is legal documents, and I'm now like serious, and I'll give you a serious legal analysis of what's going on, right? You know, we're making fun of Eric's hairy shoulders, but then here's his art, and I can go in serious mode and go, here's a serious criticism, right? I can give you the break the stuff down in a serious manner. And I think that's the difference between me and other people, right? I'm not just going, hey, this is a good looking comic. It's pretty. It's pretty. And the guy who did the comic said nice things about me, so I'm promoting it. I'll go, no, here's what I like about it. Here's why it compares to other comics. And look at this art and look at the structure of the story and look at the details here, right? I can go into things because I like comic books. I like art. I like media. I've been paid for years to do criticism of media and stuff, right? So it's like I have experience and I have know-how and knowledge, right? I get called fat. I'm literally in better shape than most of you half my age. You're kind of fat. Perp's been here a while also. Well, Perp's been here for a long time. I've known Perp for a long time before all this shit. Yeah, so
you guys used to be rivals.
Tony, TJ once said rent free, and you agreed with him. You fucking. Again, I will point out that the fact that Dark Grift literally has AI videos of me that he plays when he gets super chats. If that isn't rent free, like he's thinking about me enough to make fucking videos of me, I think that. Yeah. Red, I missed this, but he says this is the origin of balls on the table. That it was, Red. That it was.
You finally got it, and it didn't involve Finbar.
Yeah.
Well, at least he's here in the chat.
Like I said, I'm just,
No respect, no honor. There is no honor among thieves in the first place, Daddy.
Yeah. Now it all makes sense. I remember when Wizard and Dallas and Cynthia and PJ Reviews were on their way down the Yellow Piss Road, and they all crashed at the poppy fields. Not just AI videos, homoerotic AI videos.
Yes.
Yeah. I thought about getting into this YouTube sphere, but I'm avoiding CG like a plague. Way too much drama. I mean, if you're just going to be talking about stuff, yeah. Been here a long time and never knew where balls on the table was from till now. Yeah. Did you answer my question, Tony? I did.
Yeah, we just did.
What was the question, Sketchbook? My thoughts on Cynthia? I said it's cool.
Yeah, Cynthia on the panel, yeah.
It's fine. More eyes on him means more people are going to know what he's really like. And so
more crash outs from him. It's going to be glorious.
And when he goes on there and they tell him to shut up or that he's an idiot or he's not making sense, it's going to be great. When they ask him like, hey, can you give us like your art analysis on something? And he doesn't have any, and they show his lack of knowledge about anything comic book related. It's going to be great. It's going to expose himself. So yeah, there it is, guys. There's everything. I hope I've answered all the questions, and I hope all you guys have fully understand what's going on. There's still a couple things that I we're not talking about, but they're not really relevant to all this. Anything you want to say before we leave, TJ?
CG Suburbs tomorrow. Let's go.
That's right. CG Suburbs. I've reached out to somebody who hasn't been around CG, someone who be a new face, right? Really great art. I don't want to spoil the surprise because I don't know if he's going to be here tomorrow or maybe next week, but he has been invited. He's done work for Marvel and DC before, amongst other things. So should be good. All right, guys. Love, peace, booty grease. We out this bitch.